Hello and welcome to Blue Collar Performance. Like I was talking about in the last video, time has elapsed since, the last video I made and here, and, as a result of that, the Pinto was finished. So let me show you guys around this thing. As you can see, I was talking about raising the hood. I kind of opted out of that because as I did a little more research on the car, I figured out that I'm the third owner of this car. It was bought brand new in Berryville, Arkansas. I live in Harrison, Arkansas. It's never gone far. I obviously put wheels on it, but I'm the third owner of this car. It's 100% original paint. I can't prove it, but as near as I can tell, it's 26,000 original miles. The rear bumper was trashed on it, so what I ended up doing was putting a 68 Camaro rear bumper on it, and I did have to modify the brackets a little bit to make it work, but I think it came out pretty good. The angle's a little funky right there at the edge, but I think if you don't know it, you probably won't see it. And 8.8 is in it, all working good. The interior, I redid all the interior, newer door rubbers, new belt moldings. Had the dash, which was all cracked to pieces. I ended up fiberglassing over that and body working it out, and had it upholstered. And the seats are all diamond tuck. And then I had the headliner all done. Ooh, that camera does some crazy stuff. Carpet in the car was so nice, I literally just pressure washed it and put it back in. The only thing is, it's got spots where it had a console, so I kind of did the best I could there, but not too big of a deal. And then in the back here, I had this little carpet cover made, but I'm gonna go ahead and yank this out. I went inside, I painted everything. It was all apart, everything was painted. I've still got the factory spare tire cover, but obviously, we're different size tires and wheels than what I had originally. So under here now resides the battery. And I built this little aluminum battery tray for it to hold it in place, and everything runs through grommets. And the cool thing, or one of the cool things about the car, is the speedometer works. And the way the speedometer works is that little fella right there is a GPS antenna, and Speed Hut makes this thing called the Speed Box, and it runs off a GPS, and it's got an electric motor in it that drives a cable that drives the factory speedometer. So not only does the factory speedometer work, but it is dead accurate. And if you go back and look, the car had 26,012 miles when I was working on it. So I've actually put 750 miles on the car since I finished it. Actually, probably slightly more than that, because I drove it some before I got the speed box thing put in there. Let me get this hood up. And under here is filled.
That motherfucker on swole,
I drove to Springfield in the rain last weekend, which is a terrible idea because, 60, 70 miles an hour, I can just zip the tires. But it's running currently on 5 pounds of boost. I've got the timing slow, the fuel rich. Had a bunch of power killed out of it, but it's still pretty snotty. But anyway, here in just a little bit, I'll drive it to the shop and we'll put it up on the lift, and I'll show you everything I've done underneath. All right, so let's take this little thing to town. Like I was talking about the speedometer being GPS, the car actually outruns the speedometer. It's like if I stop on it and like when I let off of it, it's still the speedometer is still climbing because the speedometer can't keep up with the rate of acceleration with somebody else, and I will bring you guys back once I get to the shop. So one more thing I want to say, this is one of my favorite things about this car. It's like when I give it a little and let off, so I'm doing 70 on 40. I'm going to slow my roll, and now I'll bring you guys back when I get back to the shop. Okay, so we're at my work. Got her up on the lift, and I'll show you guys around underneath. I did end up on the gas tank pulling it back out and putting a sump on it, because I got thinking about this up here, and I decided that, you know, this thing's gonna, you know, slosh fuel away from it and starve the pump. I put an AEM 400 pump on it. Been happy with that to this point. Everything's, you know, I used a hydraulic hose here. That's just something I do sometimes. And you know, -6, the return. Let me see if I can get this light turned on here. Let's see if we can see. Yeah, there's the return fitting. It goes in right there. You can see everything's filthy. I drive it, you know. It's just something I enjoy driving. Got the 8.8 in it, disc brakes, Explorer rear end, factory width, and the tranny cooler hanging out back here under the rear passenger seat. And I tried to do a pretty decent job, you know, putting everything in insulated clips, and at points I didn't have enough clips, so some things got zip tied. Then up here we've got a little issue with the undercoating flaking off, because I did not clean it well enough before I sprayed undercoating, and the cotton picking, you can see right there, the rear end housing is flexing enough under, you know, like full tilt buggy for 1-2 shift. It's hitting the floorboard, and but under here everything's cool, you know. It's not it may seep a little oil. Maybe I didn't get that thing all the way sealed, but yeah, that's what I say. It's 700 miles worth of driving and whatever. Anyway, torque converter, ended up putting a BTE in it because the Jegs torque converter was junk. There's the notch I made in the cross member. You can see why I had to do that, to clear the oil filter lines. The engine goes in and out way better now with the notched cross member up here. Got the oil filter hanging out over here in the fender, and you know, hot side's all holding up good. Everything seems to be happy and healthy. All the lights work. Just a fun little car, you know. 91 octane pump gas street car, and I just enjoy the heck out of it. So that said, I'm gonna go enjoy the heck out of it some more since I've got it out. So thank you for watching. I hope you join me next time.